What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Swiftcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are at about 1.5 cents now. I think Swiftcoin is one of the only coins that's up that's green today. Everything else started off a little bit to the downside. Maybe some more coins went to the upside than I thought. The coins I was looking at, a lot of them started the day off to the downside a little bit there. But yeah, you've moved up a little bit, moved all the way up to about 1.67 cents, and you've pulled back a bit. It does seem to me as though this is not your low, as if you're not stopping here, you probably go lower. But that's fine, right? You've got a little bit lower to go, and we've been anticipating this to happen for the last couple days at least. So there was a moment, there was a couple of moments, more than a few moments, that day after day that I thought that we would actually bounce from this area. It seemed too obvious that we would go low, but hey man, the obvious choice seemed to not be the obvious choice, was it? Maybe I'm just too good for my own damn good, right? I need to go with those obvious moves. I don't know. Can't be right every single time. Can't be wrong every single time. I've been right before, I'll be right again. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again. Let's stop talking about me, then let's start talking about you. We found resistance here at the previous areas of support when you broke out. So this day was confirmation that you were going lower. We had a bearish engulfing candle the next day, 16% to the downside. That's a bit more than average for what we saw for the rest of the markets yesterday, but you also had a bit more of an average move up. So don't take this as a notion that Swiftcoin is now junk. The average coin dropped 10% yesterday. You dropped 16%. That's not because Swiftcoin's worse. It's because it's got more to give back. Most coins that dropped 10% or less yesterday, they haven't seen anything like this in years. So, you know, go easy on yourselves. It's okay if you dropped a little bit more. I hope nobody's panicking over this, okay? It's definitely a great opportunity to buy, and it is certainly not worth panicking over. It's looking like we will go to these prices just a little bit lower at about 1.42 cents, if not potentially down at this closing high down here at about 1.11 cents. I want to make that clear. I think we do go somewhere in that zone. We're very close to it, but not quite there yet. From a high to a low, well within the zone, right in the middle, is the golden ratio at 1.2696 cents. And that to me seems like a very likely area to find support. We found support right here. We even found resistance back here, right at that area. It's the golden ratio to this whole thing. So I feel like 1.2696 cents is a good call for support. I suspect we go there, bounce right off of it, or we go a little bit lower. 1 cent, I very much do expect that 1 cent would hold the support if we did go lower. Of course, if it didn't, I want to say this real quick. Okay, again, I think 1 cent will hold a support. I don't even actually think we get there. But in the off chance that I'm wrong, because I can be wrong, I've been wrong before, maybe we go down to the 786. That happens too. So if you see prices at 0.00889, that is not a time to panic. It's just it went a little bit lower. It's okay that even if it went a little bit lower there, it's okay. You're bouncing off of deep retracement zones. It's fine to bounce off of. It's a higher low overall. You're not breaking structure. Everything's fine. With that in mind, I don't think you go below 1 cent. I personally don't even think you go too much below 1.2696 cents, but maybe you do. It's completely possible you find support here, but my thoughts are you definitely do go lower. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, and I mean looking at the daily RSI, it seems as if we would go lower. Looking at the 4-hour RSI here, you've gotten oversold, and you are not even getting above the 60. Yeah, you look weak, man. You look like you want to go down. This looks like bullish divergence, right? Lows here, higher lows there, but it's not. I promise you it's not. You got the lower lows and everything, but it's not bullish divergence. I hope nobody's trading based off of that, because it's not bullish divergence. You're just seeing what you want to see. If you see this, let's do a quick lesson. It's a pop quiz here for anybody out there that might be saying, what do you mean? Of course it's bullish divergence. You have a higher low right here, and then you've got a lower low right here. Of course it's bullish divergence. Let me tell you why it's not bullish divergence, okay? It's not bullish divergence because while yes, this low is lower, this low is higher than that low. What about this low? What about that low right there, right? And don't say that low doesn't count, because if that low right there, and I don't think it was, but if this low here was a lower low, everybody who's saying this doesn't count would have been like, oh, that was bullish divergence. No, so that you can't cherry pick. This low here, you are lower than that low. It is not bullish divergence. In fact, it's a false look of bullish divergence, right? To make people who don't know what they're doing, or people who think they know what they're doing, mess up and make the wrong decisions, right? You're seeing what you want to see. Really what this is you have an RSI reading here that was higher than these highs over here, and you had price highs that were lower than those highs. That's hidden bearish divergence. So of course you got continuation to the downside. I don't think that it stops here. I think you go down. I think this 4-hour candle here where you wicked all the way up and came back down, 17 minutes left, I think it's obvious that you're going to go lower, okay? We're just looking for that on the confirmation of the 4 hour. The 1 hour time frame also looking pretty damn bad. Rejecting the 50. Yeah, you're looking bad, man. Living in the oversold zone, you're afraid, you're reluctant to even get overbought. You get a glimmer of hope, and then you tarnish it immediately. So yeah, absolutely, I think you're going to go lower. But I think you're very near your low point. I don't think you have a whole lot lower to go. And if we look at this thing on a whole scope, we look at it on a daily basis, as ugly as these shorter term time frames look, you see the volume here, and it's insignificant, right? When you're moving up, when you're doing bullish things, that's where the liquidity is coming from, right? The only people selling here are people who are, maybe they're deciding to take profits, or more likely at this point, it's people who are panic selling, people who are bored, people who feel like they made the wrong decision. They probably sold here, put their money into another coin, and then everything dumped yesterday. So everything moved down over the past couple, over the past week, over the past couple weeks even, really, but over the past 24 hours especially, things have moved down. So the only people selling here are people making bad decisions, and I'm saying that, I'm making such a point out of that to say, please do not sell. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this is not the time to sell. This is the time to buy, my friends. Yes, even here at 1.53 cents, where we expect to go lower than 1.4 cents even here, it's a good time to buy, because you're still at a much lower price than what your relative high was. From a high here to where we are now, you're down about 65%. It's a phenomenal time to buy. If you just buy and you hold, you're likely going to see some immediate gratification over like the next couple weeks. Maybe not over the next couple days, but over the next couple weeks it's going to happen even here. But that's not me saying buy here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I would strongly encourage that you wait, that you hold off, because right now it seems as though we have another day or 3 of dropping to go, and I think you will get slightly lower prices, if not somewhat significantly lower prices. Nothing crazy, but going from here to where we're thinking it's going to go, let's see, that would be, it's like 1.2 cents, 1.2 something, 1.26 cents. That's about another 20% drop, guys. 18% drop, 15% drop, something like that. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but with that potential on the table, it might be worth just waiting a little bit. And also, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're expecting the prices to go lower like I am, it might be appropriate to have limit orders set up ahead of time, just in case the price gets down there. The way that I do things, again, this is not me telling you what to do. This is just literally me telling you what I do when I do things. If I expect the price to go here, I would set my buy orders up above it, right? And I would layer them through. I'd take like whatever I'm wanting to buy, 100% of what I want to buy. I'd split it into fifths. I'd split it into fourths. I'd split it into tenths. It all depends on how much money you're dealing with, right? If you got like $1,000 or less, you can split it maybe into halves or just all one order, right? But for the sake of DCAing, maybe layer it out still, right? If you're dealing with $100,000 or more, $10,000 or more, you probably want to split that up into at least, I mean, for $10,000, at least like split it up into fifths. At $100,000, man, you better be splitting that up into like 20ths or more, and anything more than that, right? You don't want to put it all in at once. You don't want to be the reason why things are pumping. You want to load up at the ideal areas and then let somebody else, the FOMOers, be the reason why it's pumping, right? So just a little food for thought there, right? If you're expecting the price to go down to about 1.2696 cents, like I think it's going to go to. Let's say I wanted to buy this thing, and I thought it would go right there. I would not set my buy orders here. I would not set them lower. Some people do it. Some people do it that way so that they get better expectations. Me, I would rather buy higher, expecting it to go lower and being okay with that, and then inevitably it goes up, because I just want to get in, right? So I think buying between like 1.4 cents and lower, for what it's worth, I think that it's probably fair game. But even at these prices, it's probably fair game. Let's look at one more thing, and then we'll end the video here. Okay, so Swiftcoin, Swifty, right here on Coinbase, sure. I want to use this indicator. Some of you might be familiar with it if you've seen my XCN videos. Some of you might not be. Let me just do a quick explanation, right? This indicator, it's called the LRO. It's the the linear regression oscillator by Chart Prime. You can find this on TradingView yourself. It's free. You might have to have premium. I'm not 100% sure. I have premium, but it is free. Like I've got the premium, so I guess I pay for it. But if you have access to the community stuff, I'm not 100% sure if you do, but you click on community. You scroll down, you look for Chart Prime, okay? Linear regression oscillator, Chart Prime. I made it my favorite because I actually really do like this a lot. I look through different indicators for fun when I'm bored, right? And oftentimes you find a bunch of crap. But this one, or things that are similar enough to your indicators that it doesn't really help you. But this one's, I like the the way that it displays itself, right? Because what you've got here is you've actually got this indicator. This is what it is. It's this oscillator here between the overbought area, oversold area. You're getting these readings here, these shaded valleys. But whenever you look at the chart, you don't even need that indicator. It explains it all for you here, right? Green arrows mean that you're getting a bullish build in momentum. Blue arrows mean that the bearish momentum has taken over. These lines here are the invalidation areas for your trends, right? Sometimes they're lightly shaded. When they get darker shaded, that means you have a more established trend. It's more significant, right? So breaking through this area, for example, because of how significantly shaded that was, when you broke through that, once you started to tip that brought on the notion that you were going to go lower. You get these things called reversions, and reversions on the green note means that you have hit the oversold area on your LRO, right? You've hit the oversold area. Why did the shade go away? You see it's like there, but then whenever I click on it, it went away. This blue line wasn't there a second ago. What's up with that? How did that happen? That was so weird. A little glitch there. Maybe it's a glitchy indicator, whatever, or it's just trading view. But the reversion there happened. You did move up a little bit, but basically you just moved sideways. It's not 100% guaranteed. This indicator, like any indicator, is not foolproof. It will be wrong at times. But here you had a reversion. It didn't call the absolute top, but you did start to move down there. Invalidation level here, you broke through it. You've recently broken through it. Now your invalidation level, you can see it's slightly coming in right here, this little slightly shaded blue area there, right? It's right here. And basically these invalidation levels, they always play off of your relative highs, relative lows from whenever you started changing your momentum trends, right? So here your invalidation level is at about 1.8586 cents. All my conversation in this video about going lower, it is invalidated if you go above here, at least according to this thing, right? And even more so with this invalidation level. 1.9 cents is probably 1.92 cents is a very significant level. It's a very shaded level there. As you move on, these invalidation levels, they taper off. So if we move on from here, this will be less relevant, but it might always hold some relevance at the same time, right? Just like here, you've got this. It's pretty significant back here, and then all the way over here, you're still finding resistance on it. You know what I mean? So I'm on the 2-hour time frame. You can be on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the whatever. I find it works out better on these like shorter term time frames. But all I'm trying to say by this, now that I've explained it a little bit, at least I think I have, it certainly is looking like you're going to the downside. You've broken through your invalidation levels for the bullish support. Overall, you look like you're in a bit of a downtrend. Yeah, I would think that you do go lower from here. You're just now building bearish momentum, so it's probably gonna. I think today closes red. I say you're just now building bearish momentum. I just mean like, obviously you built some over here. I guess you were still in the bullish effect, but you're just flipping bearish now. So yeah, I think really the move is getting started. I think you have lower to go. Again, those targets are about 1.2696 cents, if not somewhere around there. You could find support at 1.4 cents. Whatever the case may be, you could go lower. I think 1 cent holds, but even if I'm wrong and you go lower, you're fine. You're likely fine as long as you're holding above probably like 0.0085. Okay, as long as you're holding above there, you're probably fine. And then of course I could be wrong the other way too, which is that you don't go lower and you go higher, which is why I very much would encourage, not advise. It's just an encouragement because it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. But I would encourage that nobody sells their long-term stacks of Swiftcoin. Even if you think you can play it just right, don't, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. You'll think that you're so smart here selling. It's going to go down 16%. I could just sell it and then buy it right back and then get so much more. You know, that would equate to all this extra money up here. You think you're so smart, but then what happens if it does that real quick? You're not paying attention and then it rips back up and it's above your price. You're going to be like, oh, I just want it to come back. And then it doesn't. It takes off without you. It's not worth the 1 or 2 days of greed. Whenever you're just patient, you sit through it, you just eat it, and then you can reap the rewards later. You'll be happier doing that than you will be stressed about trying to time this right. So I just suggest that nobody tries to play with this. This is not the time to sell. This is the time to buy. And if anything, it's not even the time to buy. It's the time to wait and see if this thing goes lower. It probably does. If we were to invalidate this, I would think, getting above, as the indicator suggested on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour, getting above about 1.9 cents would do it for me. I got nothing else for you. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Again, this is the LRO indicator. Busted it out a few times on XCN. I don't like explaining things like this all the time. I might explain it, here and there if I introduce it to different crowds, but I do want to get to the point where we're just kind of checking in on this thing. I'm not spending too much time on it. It's not a novel, right? We're just checking in on it, seeing what it says for the trend, the same way that we look at the RSI, right? I'm not explaining how the RSI works every single time. We're just identifying it and moving on from there. I want to get to that point. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.